Hi guys, welcome back to Eduate channel. So today we will be discussing on veterinary medicine topic, that is metabolic diseases in dairy animals. So the disease is post-parturient hemoglobinuria. So we are taking this video actually upon the short notes and not on the PowerPoint slides. So moving to the condition, the post-parturient hemoglobinuria, it is actually a hemoglobinuria that is passing out of hemoglobin through the urine after parturition. So due to some problems related with the parturition, this disease happens. So moving to the synonym, that is nutritional hemoglobinuria. That means this is actually due to a problem with the nutrition, or hypophosphatemia. That is actually the presence or the mere absence of phosphorus in normal amount in blood. That is decrease in the presence of phosphorus in the blood. Next is parturient hypophosphatemia. That is hypophosphatemia related with parturition. Red water, that is actually due to the hemoglobinuria. And Lahu Mutna, that is actually an Indian term, local term. So susceptible host is mainly cattle and buffaloes, where buffaloes are more susceptible, and buffaloes in the pregnancy period or after parturition period. So the problems associated with this is actually weakness, anorexia, fever, red urine, and cessation of rumination. So weakness will be there, anorectic animal will be anorectic, fever will be there, red urine due to hemoglobinuria, and cessation of rumination. So the cessation of rumination will lead to further problems related with the protozoans of the rumen and other problems, systemic problems. So the main cause is actually hypophosphatemia, that is presence of low level of phosphorus in the. So the time of this disease is actually 2 to 4 weeks after calving, or animals after third calving, because in the third calving period they will be having the proper amount of milk or high amount of milk, and in the milk they will be secreting the calcium and the phosphorus, everything will be in the milk. So predisposing factor is actually whenever an animal is fed with low phosphorus in the ration, or the grass from low phosphorus area, that is the soil has low phosphorus, so the grass will be having less phosphorus because the plants will be absorbing the phosphorus from the soil and all. So feeding of excess turnip, grass, or cruciferous plants like cabbage and onion, these two things are the predisposing factor. And also one thing we have missed, that is copper and zinc deficiency is also a predisposing factor. So moving to the pathogenesis, how is the disease coming into the life? So whenever animal is fed with low phosphorus diet and highly phosphorus is drained through the lactation, so what happens? Hypophosphatemia will be coming. So this hypophosphatemia may predispose the RBC to adverse effects of toxins or metabolites from cruciferous plants, because the RBC is having phospholipid membrane. So whenever phosphorus is less, the integrity of phosphomembrane lipid, that is the cell wall, will be lost. So whenever the integrity is lost, the chance of breakage of the RBC is very much high. So what happens? The RBC breaks and the hemoglobin comes out. That is actually happening. And whenever we feed the animal with turnip, grass, cabbage, and onion, there are many methyl added sulfoxide methanamides and all, or the metabolites, that is coming from the degradation of onion inside the body. That methyl or sulfur products will attack the RBC, and what happens? The RBC integrity is lost, and what happens? RBC is lost, and there will be formation of Hind's body. So decreased glycolysis will be there because there is less phosphorus, and decreased ATP production because every ATP contains 3 molecules of phosphorus, that is adenosine triphosphate. So that will lead to altered function and structure of RBC, so that we can find many different structures of RBC and Hind's body. So oxidative stress to RBC due to the production of many other metabolites and due to inactivation of many enzymes which functions with phosphorus lead to production of smaller particle inside RBC, that is actually Hind's bodies. So this photobiolipid layer membrane has got a big concentration of phosphorus, so cell integrity is lost. So what happens? Intravascular hemolysis. Hemoglobin will be coming out of the RBC by breaking the RBC. So what happens? RBCs is broken. That is hemolytic anemia. And hemoglobin comes out of the general blood circulation and to the kidney, hemoglobinuria. Some of the plants produces dimethyl sulfonamides, that is in onion and turnip and all. They will be producing dimethyl sulfides, which on metabolism is a toxin and destroy RBC integrity. BC is actually very susceptible because the membrane integrity is very lost due to the less production of phosphorus. So decreased copper blood level can also precipitate the condition. So clinical findings will be mainly dullness, anorexia, red urine, and respiratory problems. Watery blood, that is due to hemolytic anemia. Increased pulse, dyspnea, Pica will be there because phosphorus deficiency. And bone diseases will be there, that is due to the altered function of kidney, calcitriol and parathormone. Infertility and retarded growth due to the deficiency of microelements. Clinical pathology, that is normally phosphorus level is 4 to 7 milligram per deciliter. So what happens in hypophosphatemia, that is actually it go below 1 mg per deciliter. So hemoglobin will be decreased. Whenever we check the hemoglobin count, it will be very less. Erythrocyte count will be very less because of hemolytic anemia. His body will be more, and one and creatine will be more, because that is creating many problems, because these hemoglobin will be attacking the kidney tubular functions and all, and many GFR problems will be there and tubular problems will be there, that will lead to burn and creatine increase. Dark or red urine, but no RBC will be there because RBC is broken and hemoglobin is coming out. Diagnosis is actually tentative, that is based on history and clinical signs, estimation of blood phosphorus level and urine analysis. For moving to the treatment protocol, if highly anemic, we should have to go for blood transfusion, that is whole blood transfusion. Approximately, we have to go for 5 liter for 50 kmol. We can go for fluid therapy, hematinic drugs or syrups. For proper liver function, we can go for melamine. Oral drenching of 30 gram of sodium acid phosphate so that phosphorus will be maintained. Injection tonofosfan 15 ml IM for 5 days. And mainly avoid laxatives and purgatives so as to avoid dehydration, so that no more dehydrative problems will be there. Copper supplements and vitamin C supplements should be given. And we have to go for differential diagnosis, that is parasitic hemoglobinuria, that is red water is mainly present in case of Babesia theileria due to intravascular hemolysis. Also copper poisoning, onion poisoning and lead poisoning. Myoglobinuria, that is actually in case of azoturia, whatever muscle problems. Anaplasmosis, enzootic hematuria, leptospirosis, bacillary hemoglobinuria in case of Clostridium hemolyticum, and pyelonephritis in case of whatever lepto or whatever the. So thank you.